Welcome to our weekly podcast. We got a couple people today, which is positive. We're always trying to get a couple people to join. Today we're going to go over Madden 18. We've had a week with it now, most of us. I think hopefully everybody in here has played the game for the last week. I know Rabbit and Scotty have Jug. Did you boy the GOAT edition, or are you not getting it till tomorrow?
Shit, I had mine since yesterday. You know, I had to have the GOAT edition.
Just making sure. Just making sure. So we've all played the game. We've all had it for a while. Initial impressions, and we'll give out grades at the end out of 10. But, Jug, start with your initial impressions of Madden 18. Did it improve on 17? Is it where it needs to be? Is it getting – just anything. Your initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts out the gate, I like some of the things that I haven't even been able to use yet. I mean, I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but, like, how the regression has been said to not been so drastic, like after like year two, some of these guys aren't like be 73 speed receivers and stuff like that, you know. I like that type of thing. And as far as like gameplay wise, I like the run game a little bit more. I mean, a lot more than last Madden. Last Madden, I didn't really like the run game because I just couldn't really get it rolling. I mean, I've had games with like 150 yards on the ground against some scrubs, but then I play somebody who knows anything, and they would just shut that run game down. You got to pass all day, unless you run the same set every time, and we know the cheese sets is bullshit. But this Madden, I feel like I can break out. You know, if I got a guy with high agility and acceleration, he's got some moves. You know, truckers will truck you. I like the game. I like the game a lot more in that aspect.
Yeah, they'll break tackles too this year too. So every time you get wrapped up in an automatic tackle like it was in past Madden, some guys can actually break tackles this year. I noticed that. Rabbit, your initial quick thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, I like the gameplay. The running feels a lot more fluid, kind of like what Jug was talking about. The new things they're doing, the target, it seems like it's it's hard for sure, and nobody's mastered it yet, I don't think. If they are, then but it seems like it's going to be fun. Some of the stuff on the back end, I'll get into a little bit maybe, but CFM is not really something to make the franchise. So if besides the regression, I think enough people bitched about the regression last year that it seems I've seen 2, 3, almost 4 seasons now, and Cam is 31-32, but all he's lost is a couple of throwing power. He hasn't lost on accuracy like he would see last year. They lose 2 every year, so that's nice. But everything else is just straight skin from last year. So
Madden 17.5, huh?
Yeah. Gameplay though, like I said, I like the running. How it feels. Some of the things that we'll be using a lot haven't a whole lot.
Yeah, fair enough. Scotty?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a better game. Feels a lot different, which I never really got into last year's version. The only thing I don't like about it is the quarterback mobility outside the pocket. It's just like they fucking get faster. Like when they cross the line of scrimmage, they become Barry Sanders. I don't know if it's something that can tweak back or slider control or something along those lines, but like a 71 speed quarterback feels like fucking Michael Vick from the 90s. So
I actually agree with that. It seems like they've made running quarterbacks, and again, I think this is a pocket issue more than anything else. The pocket doesn't form correctly. They've got it into the U shape now, but the problem is it's not curving around. It's just kind of like a flat U. So they're still able to take off immediately to the right, and there's no stopping it, and it sucks. So from what I've gathered, everybody seems to like the improved run game. I agree personally. I think the run game. Uh-oh. Am I there?
Yep. Yeah, I hear you.
I feel like the run game is definitely improved. First couple games I played as the Vikings, I didn't get a lot of push, and I was like, oh, great, not this again. But I played with some better offensive lines and switched it up. And even with Cook, I could, if game planned right and switched up I felt like I had him where I wanted him and was one step ahead of him. Y'all know what I'm talking about with the play calling. If sometimes you feel like you're always just one step ahead of them and they're calling the wrong defense every time, I was still pulling off, 4 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry with Dalvin Cook, even as the Vikings. So I was very happy with that. So I definitely feel like it's improved. A lot of that has to do with the blocking, being able to break out now. Not blocking, but the being able to break off the tackles. It's a better game. I can't say it's not. It's definitely improved. That being said, I still see a lot of legacy issues. I still see a lot of dumb shit in the game, and it's like, fix it. For the love of God, fix it. I don't feel like not a single one of their new things they added gameplay-wise was helpful. I feel like the main thing that helped the game was fixing the run game. I don't feel like the pass mechanic is going to be any fun or use at all. I feel like it's a cheese thing that cheesers are going to find to be able to make a pass that's undefendable occasionally. From any quarterback. It's going to be something that's going to be much like the playmaker, much like the quarterback vision cone. In 2 years, the only people who are going to use it are people that are cheesing, and as a league, we're probably going to have to find some way to tell people not to use it because it's going to break the game or some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, I played a game earlier against Lamarck, and I know but it's literally like when they threw it, like the AI just lost their fucking mind, would stop tracking, like they just let up, they'd be riding on their hip, and which I actually twitched it, but you could see like my guy like slowing down as soon as the ball would release, and it's just
if it gets too bad, it's just clearly going to be something we'll have to say, just like the playmaker. Hey, it breaks the AI. It's not built correctly. Don't do it. So starting with that, Jug, let's get you off mute here. There we go. You got background noise. I had to mute you out of that.
Yeah.
Rat was talking. Your thoughts on the new features, the cornerback cover, the way they did it. I don't know if you've even seen it because it's kind of hidden in the coach menu. The coach menu itself, the cornerback where you want them, the new passing mechanic, the new stuff they added. Do you feel like any of that contributes to the game?
Slightly. I haven't been able to master or really get to utilize that passing mechanic to its potential. I think that it can end up becoming potentially something that could mess around and mess the AI up. I know I threw a few passes that got my guy open without him even really running a good route or or really just getting loose off his man. The guy behind him just kind of slowed down. When it comes down to the coaching thing, man, that's kind of deep in the menus to make some adjustments like that. It's pretty deep in the menus. But I think once I get used to it, I'll be able to make some more use of it. But at this moment, I don't get much use out of it. Maybe in the last drive, like I had a game earlier, last drive, I had my guys play a little bit for a strip because I felt like the dude I was playing was going to get it to his rookie, and his rookie had low ball carrying, and we got a strip out of that. He gave it to him every time, and we just stripped him. So that helped. But other than that, it's pretty deep in the menus. But until I'm used to it, I can't really judge it yet.
Okay, Rabbit, some of the new features.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the new coaching features, like Jug said, if we can get used to using them, and I think it's good to dial up pressure and be aggressive, and it can backfire. I haven't. I want to experiment with IDing the mic. I haven't really had a chance to do that a whole lot, but if you can do that right, that'll help pick up blitzes. But if you do it wrong, then you're going to get blown up too. So I like how if you guess wrong, that it can be a quick sack for you. And the passing thing, I think it was a unique feature, but like you were saying earlier, I think it might become go the path of the vision cone and only be around for a year or two, because it's probably going to only be used by a few players, and they'll probably be folks that end up knowing how to cheese with it. So.
I agree with that. Scotty, your thoughts on the new Madden or the new features specifically? ID the mic, passing, anything in the new?
Yeah, I like the coaching options. I actually use those every game when I first go in on the first drive or whatever to make some minor adjustments. But I'm actually trying to load up this Twitch where there was 2 or 3 plays you could tell he used it. I was going to see if I can't play it through here, but you can literally see the AI just like he gets stuck in the mud trying to track the guy. One of them, I think, like Nelson, who's like a 86 speed up against fucking McDonald, and McDonald just smokes him on it. So.
Okay. Fair enough. So pretty much everybody agrees, again, unanimously. The game is better because of fixed problems is what I'm getting, not necessarily because of added things. Like they fixed some problems, not because they added things, which is kind of weird. You know, you'd think the added things would contribute to the game, but it seems and I think we've been all saying this, is they need to make the game better in general by fixing the problems that they already have. And I have to agree with all of you. They're all useless to me. Got no use for them. The coaching I will eventually get to using. Like Jug said, one of the main issues is it's buried. It's so far down the menu. I forgot it was even a new feature until I accidentally scrolled down to goal line. And I was like, oh, there's the coaching. I should probably use those. It might help, occasionally. Oh, there we go. He's looking at something here. Let's take a look at what he's using at. So I agree with that. One thing I will say that's new, or that does feel a little better, is the user linebackers aren't as overpowered as I've seen so far. I don't know if anybody's had different experiences, but I don't feel like one linebacker can take away 4 receivers going over the middle of the field anymore. When in previous Maddens, I felt like he could. And I feel like I really love the if you don't time Y right, it's just going to drop the interception. I love that. Oh, my God. You can tell the difference between playing people last year and playing people this year. You throw the same pass, and it just gets slapped down now if they don't time it right. So they can't just hold Y. It's got to be a timing thing. So they can't just be going one direction and then just do a turnaround interception. So far, again, this is all from a week. When we get into the year 4 or 5, I'm sure we're going to have these issues, these legacy issues that keep coming up. What about MUT squads? Jug, have you played
I have not played it yet, man. I've been thinking about doing that today, later on tonight, get some MUT squads in. But everybody I've heard said that they liked it. How you guys like it?
I know all 3 of us have played because you can mute and unmute yourself. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just do it from now on then. Rabbit, I played with Rabbit last night. I played with Scotty the night before. Actually, I think I played with them both last night. But regardless, I played with both of them. My views on it before we get on it. It's fun. It's what we had. It's just pretty much what we had before. I'm mad it's not in other game modes. It should be in a play now kind of mode where you can use regular teams. They should have added it in an online franchise, even if it's just 3 of your friends playing online through the same season. That sounds absolutely fun, right? You 3 all have GM status, and you work together and you play it. That would be fun. They missed out on an opportunity. That being said, I feel like it's pretty much half-assed. The camera angles specifically are terrible at certain times. Even if you turn it to standard camera angle, on interceptions, sometimes you just don't know who has the ball. You get pushed out of plays, and you don't know what's happening. I don't know what their camera angle view is. Had they played, honestly, if the developers played 5 or 6 games, these are things that should be easily seen and fleshed out, is my opinion. It's fun. I'm glad. It's really fun to play with other people. And it's fun running the ball, and the MUT aspect to it is kind of neat. But 2 things, it needs to be fleshed out a little bit better. They say they didn't want to put it back in until they got it right. They didn't. They got it half right, and it needs to be in more areas. Rabbit, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, initially thoughts, it's fun. I like the 3v3 aspect of it. But again, they placed it in their cash cow because they know it's going to bring more money in their pockets. People are going to want to, I was stuck not playing offense because I don't have a good offensive team. So you're going to have those people that want to do things like that, and you're going to go out there and they're going to put money into it, and that's what they want.
Exactly.
Totally agree that, I wish it was, you could just pick a team and play another regular team, just like online head-to-head, only it's 3v3.
Put a leaderboard system on it.
Yep. But yeah, those camera angles were killing me too. You only got like 2 choices, and you just get lost. But overall,
they're just not pushed out.
Yeah, it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully they get some feedback and actually listen to the community. Won't hold our breath. But
if they fix the camera I'm sorry, if they fix the camera angles, add a few more modes, that's going to be a premier fun mode in Madden. You make a My Player kind of like NBA 2K and let you use your player in those modes, you got yourself something people are going to become addicted to. Make them pay to upgrade their players quickly, and so they have 5 or 6 players, just like NBA 2K, where they have a center court. You know, you can use just one guy, but in 2K, you got people have 12 different guys, you know, and they spend how much VC on each one of those guys. Do something similar in Madden. You know, make it so we can build ourselves up, but make it so if you want to, you could just spend a couple dollars and make them good players on Madden. So that would be fun, I think, you know.
Something I want to put in there real quick is we all know that microtransactions are the future of gaming, period. Like, they want you to pay to play, to do things. It's from phone games to PC games to games on the Xbox. I just don't want them to make it so you're absolutely hopeless if you don't pay. You know, like, I want to be able to grind it out and be able to, you know, compete. You know, some guys like to put that $20, $30 up. I don't really want to do that.
2K is very good at that, in my opinion. I feel like their My Players are, you can very easily, and you still need to grind in them actually to get those badges. So grinders will always be better than the payers, but the payers can play immediately. I can go into 2K, put down $20, and my character will be able to maybe not be the greatest. He'll be an 86, but he can compete, which is okay if that's how they want to do it. That I agree with you, and I like that doing it that way. Scotty, what's your thoughts on the MUT squads?
Yeah, I love it. I've been saying for a few years they're missing out on that. I play FIFA, and we actually play 11v11 games. You know, like you said, you have positions, and it's, you know, you have a left forward, a center back, a goalie, and, you know, there is in the VFL, which the league I'm actually in, there's 6,400 people in that league alone, and which it's through the UK and USA, but it's fucking massive, and which I do like the 3v3 better than they had in the past, but there's a lot of things they need to fix. But the customization, you know, have tight ends, you know, hell, people want to play line. I mean, there's a lot that they could do with it that they don't. So
I agree. It's bare bones, and I've heard the Madden developers say time after time after time that what they're trying to do is they don't want to put any features in that aren't fully fleshed out. And then we get a mode that isn't fully fleshed out, and I don't understand what the reasoning behind it is. So kind of weird to me, but I'm glad it's in the game. Add some more things, fix it up a little bit. Maybe put 5 versus 5. I think that's very doable. Even with the NFL, I understand their concept, but you know, you could have 3 receivers, a quarterback, and a running back, or if it's blocking, you could have some blockers. You know what I mean? You can do 5 versus 5 fairly easily in a Madden game, and I think that is the minimum you should be playing. All right, have either one of y'all finished? Any of y'all finished the journey?
Yeah,
or the long shot.
Too many. Yeah, I've done the journey, the long shot, like 2/3 of the way through the other 2.
I meant the long shot, not the MUT. I meant the long shot, the actual story mode long shot.
Oh yeah.
All right, Rabbit, Jug.
Nah, I never messed with it yet.
No, I played what you could on the trial, and that's all I've done since the.
Okay, I'd say the trial version is the best part of the long shot. After that, it kind of gets repetitive. I'm just going to throw this, you know, I'm not trying to give any spoilers, but it gets repetitive. I feel like the guy you're playing doesn't deserve to play football because he's a whiny little baby. Now, he had things happen to him, but everybody has things happen to him. If you want to play football, you go into football. You die. You know, you give your life up to football. You don't walk away from a college and a show when people are trying to help. He's a whiny little baby. I don't get any enjoyment out of Devin Wade. I feel like his friend Cole Cruz is a lot more of a football guy. So they tried to boost up this guy that's a long shot, but he doesn't want to put in the time or effort to be a good player. So the whole mode is ruined by this lame starting character that is just has no desire to play football, in my opinion. Scotty, what are your thoughts on it since you played it all the way through?
I didn't mind the story mode, but I just hated the way that it ended. Like, you're a 7th round fucking pick, and that's the end of the day. Like, you can't, you know, go on to the NFL, and it's, I don't know how much play.
Well, they said you can. Yeah, they said you can start a franchise like player mode, and you can be Devin Wade or Cole Cruz, and that's the story. I thought it was very gimmicky. I felt like it was like placating to a lot of things. They had a woman in the Army, the best football player in the Army. Like, what? Like, that's just added in to be politically correct and make people happy. It's just like,
well,
I don't know.
You know, that's the way of the world now. I mean, you look at the comic books, fucking Iron Man's a girl now. You know what I'm saying? Iron Man is a girl now. Thor is a girl now. You know, everything's just like that. They're trying to be, you know, make the world happy, not make.
Yeah. I just needed a better character. I needed a character with a desire to play football. We didn't get that in the long shot. The first part was fine. I felt when I played the first chapter in the thing, you felt like you had a guy that just was down on his luck, had some bad games. His dad died. He didn't pull the Brett Favre and go out there and throw 6 touchdowns that game. He did the opposite. He went out and threw some interceptions, and he got benched. You know, and that's okay. I can get that, and that's the story. You know, that's in the first part for anybody who's played. It's when he starts quitting multiple teams and starts not wanting to play football that I'm like, this dude doesn't deserve to be a long shot. He's an overly talented has-been, you know. He's a Shane Falco. He's, you know. And speaking of football movies, I had to laugh because your high school football coach put you in at safety just like Willie Beeman. And I'm like, they're risking my shoulder, putting me at safety like in Willie Beeman in any given Sunday. I had to laugh. I had to laugh because I was like, I'm going to go out here and make a tackle and throw out my shoulder just like Willie Beeman, not get drafted. But that was funny. Rabbit, you did play the – Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it seems like they tried to go for the story real depth, you know, in depth wise on here. I don't know if anybody played the NBA Live demo where you're like trying to build your guy up. But I like the NBA Live demo. It's simple. It's not really too much, you know, and for a first year, that's what you really need to do. You try to go too much out the gate, you're probably going to mess something up. That's probably what they did here.
Yeah. I feel like not being able to play as you really takes yourself out of the experience. Rabbit, you played the first chapter. How'd you feel about the first chapter, at least?
I mean, yeah, I kind of got tired of him pretty quick. I didn't like the whole throwing the ball and directing it to different places. I mean, I thought that was just weird. But, you know, I'm going to finish it just to finish it because it's there, I guess.
Yeah. But, predictable story, very easily to you can't change any outcomes either, so it's a predictable story. You can change where you get drafted, I think, and you can change where Cole gets drafted. That's the only two things. But the story goes forward the same. You very, very predictable. Like, you can call what's going to happen to a T probably from the first chapter. As soon as you see what happens and you see the way people act, it's like there's stereotypes. It's like, come on. The first chapter was fine. It seemed like cool, but then it just kind of got repetitive and stupid. I just wonder how y'all thought about their first attempt at the long shot. I feel like we need a career mode where you can play, and I feel like that needs to travel into an ultimate team or the Mud Squads type of thing. And I feel like they can make a lot of money doing that. But all right, what else are we missing here? We got through the long shot, the new features, the graphics. That was the touted thing. That's what they were. That's why they didn't add in any new gameplay. That's why it feels like Madden 17 a lot. The Frostbite engine. Is it Frostbite that we went to? Frostbite engine. They went to Frostbite.
Frostbite.
So, which is only a graphics engine. So the game is going to feel very similar because of that. Jug, what are your thoughts on the graphics? How do you feel like it's as good as touted?
I don't know if that was too great of an improvement, to be honest with you. I was looking at it myself. It's a tad bit better in some regards. Like, I noticed the dreads on some of the guys were a lot better than last year, and you know, that was like the first thing I noticed. But other than that, nothing really has jumped out to me. And I'm playing on a computer monitor now, so it's not like I'm playing on like a TV that can kind of pixelate or just not be all that strong. I'm playing on something that's going to give me everything that they're intending. And it's not really blowing me away with nothing. So maybe not the greatest thing.
I agree. I'll let me go ahead and put my thoughts out if we're going to Rabbit. I felt like the lighting is improved drastically, especially on the field. You see some shadows come across. Looks amazing. The lighting, much improved. Other than that, I don't see any changes. It looks like Madden 17 with the player models. The sidelines look the same. The fans look the same. Maybe when the Xbox One X comes out, it's going to look better. But with Jug right now, it looks. Why are you touting this if you don't see huge or even minor graphical updates? I saw lighting, and that's it. Rabbit, your thoughts on the graphics?
Yeah, the lighting's great. I mean, I don't know if it's, my Madden 18, see slight improvements, I think, to the way they look and the way they move. But yeah, the stay-ins still look the same. The coaches and sideline players, even the stupid sequences after the game are the exact same as last year. Mix that up, It's exact.
Yeah, when they showed the entrances. Now I'm sorry. Yeah, they do have better entrances, but like you said, it's all the same animations, all the same. Even when they're getting up after the plays, it's like the after games. Nothing changed. It's the same game with better lighting. They spent a whole year putting in lighting and a passing mechanic that'll be gone in a year. Scotty, your thoughts on the graphics?
I think the Frostbite's not really designed for, I guess, better graphics. I know that's what it's touted as, but the future of it, the mechanics of the game, it makes it a lot easier to upgrade. Like it should, from FIFA actually put it in this year, but it allowed them to actually make mechanical changes in the game as the patches came out. And I think that's what they're.
What they said, what the developer specifically said, is that the Frostbite engine has nothing to do with mechanics. It is a fully graphical engine. Because obviously there's more than just one engine that runs a game. There's 12. People don't really realize that. But this is from the developer's own mouths, is mostly a graphics engine. So what we should be seeing improvements of is graphics.
Graphics, but the attachments, it's like having a nice car with no engine, but it just makes it's easier to adjust going forward is what.
Fair enough. You think it'll help be able to change other things easier then?
Yeah, that's what it's intended for. Like, why don't they just make it out to be this holy grail of graphics? And it's not really. I mean, there's a lot of systems out that's just as good, but the idea is
I'd say there's a lot of systems out there that are better.
Yeah, so, but the idea is, it's kind of like a Windows. It looks, but just it makes everything else easier going forward. The changes, the upgrades, the mechanics.
NBA 2K, if you look at it, if you just glance it in the TV, sometimes you can still, to this day, if you're far enough back, I still I get confused that it's not a real game sometimes. Never in Madden do I is that an NFL game? Never. Not one time have I ever looked at Madden and be like, got confused. I understand there's less characters and a court is probably easier to create than a football field, but just for it's I'd say it's just average graphics for an average game. It's not like some of the most great groundbreaking graphics in any sports game or regular game for that matter. It's an okay looking game. So, all right. So we've been over stuff. It seems like we have almost exactly the same views on this game, which is surprising because Juggernaut and me are a little bit more pessimistic. Rabbit's kind of a neutral guy, and Scotty loves Madden. Still, he hasn't been jaded like some of us. But that being said, surprisingly, we have a lot of the same views. It seems like most of the improvements we appreciated were the ones that just fixed gameplay, not necessarily improved or were an improvement to gameplay, and some of the new things we don't see as maybe going to be all that great, although Scotty did like the coaching adjustments a little bit more than us. I'm probably going to like them when I get down to them. I just keep forgetting they're so far buried, like Jug said, because they really are. They are down there. Like, it should be a button I should press to open it up, and it's not. I have to go down and scroll down to it like it's a play call, and I don't understand that. In NCAA, it was just a button. Am I right? It was a button we pressed, then it brought the screen up. Yeah.
Yep.
Why it's a play call here is weird to me. So that being said, I think everybody has the same thing. I still see some legacy issues. If anybody wants to talk about the fumbles that they said was vastly improved. They said the fumble logic for picking up a ball is improved. I have seen the opposite. I don't see any improvement with fumbles. my guys are just as retarded, if not maybe a little more retarded when it comes to fumbles, it seems like. I still see quarterbacks get flatline, laying on the ground, flailing like a crazy person, and then the ball's all of a sudden in their hand. Like, he just got knocked the fuck out, and he's over here flailing. How is all of a sudden he got a football in his hand when there's 5 other defenders over here reaching down trying to pick up a football? Sideline catches, I don't understand what triggers sideline animations. I still see too many that are just like, just put your feet down, bro. Like, you're in the NFL. This ain't college. You can't get 1 foot down. Get your feet down, you know? Try. You're not there. It makes no sense to make that catch out of bounds when you could try to make it inbounds and make the catch. You know, you're not going to – there's no way they're going to confuse you catching that ball 5 yards out of bounds. So, 2 of my main legacy issues I've seen. The quarterback, the pocket is still terrible. Just because it's not deep enough. It doesn't form a pocket. Like in the NFL, you see a pocket form and start rolling around and condensing into a little and condensing in on them, and the quarterback has to step up into just, you know, we've all heard of the quarterback stepping up into the pocket. Just like Sam Bradford has no idea how to do. Just take 1 step forward. Sam Bradford can't, Tom Brady can. There's a difference. You'll see it. How much time Tom Brady gets taking 1 step forward. In Madden, you don't have to take that 1 step forward because the pocket doesn't form. So those are some of the legacy issues I still see. Some things they fixed were the running game, and the inaccurate quarterback passes are much better this year than they have been in the past. I don't see the 20-yard misses like I used to that often. They're still there, but now the misses are barely misses. Madden for that, because I got so sick of throwing to the – it felt like the ball was just on a trajectory for the free safety half the time. Like – and it was kind of annoying. I wasn't even throwing at my guy. I was throwing 20 yards across the field and 10 yards deeper to a free safety. I know we've all had that. So before we get to grades, is there anything maybe that you've seen that hasn't been fixed or has been fixed that you appreciate? Any of y'all, Jug?
I mean, I don't have any this game yet that's made me like sit here and try to, you know, I've not been wild, you know, not yet. Not yet. I mean, it's good with the running game and their patches and stuff, but it feels like an enormous patch sometimes when I'm playing.
It does, and it's definitely a title update.
Yeah,
more than a new game. It is, and I've come to accept that for Madden though. They do have a shortened cycle to create. I feel like the game would be much better if they go in 2 years, but I just did it. But then you're not going to every year, and they're not going to get that money, and that's where the money is. Rabbit, your thoughts? Anything that you saw maybe needs to be fixed or has been fixed, either or, that you're really happy or really disappointed about?
I'd hope that the pop-up interceptions had been at least tweaked a little bit. You know, you see one at least a game that just pops up in the air 15, 25 feet.
Let me say something that they did change about it. The offense can catch it now, because I've had 2 plays in my time with Madden where it pops up and the guy, you know, I'll play a defender and swat mechanic, and a swat into the back of somebody, pop up, and some random offensive guy will catch it and run it in for a touchdown because nobody was predicting this guy to have the ball. So, but you still get some random shit like that. So,
yeah, it goes a little bit more both ways now, kind of like Scotty. But
I had to have to say.
Nice hair.
yeah, I think so. But it's still more to the defense than I think.
I'll grab a hold of that later.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Scotty, anything you thought that?
I mean, it's been the same way in Madden for the last 20 years. They don't never make major changes, but I do feel it's a better game than it has been the last couple of years. Like, I've really got out of Madden the last couple of years, and I actually enjoy it this year versus the last couple of years. So that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and go to grades then. We'll give it a grade through 10. I believe last year I gave it a 6. This year I'm gonna go crazy. I can't give them a 6.5. I don't feel like they improved that much. You know, I will. I'm gonna go with a 6.5. I probably shouldn't have given him a 6 last year. After playing it more, I'd say last year's game was a 5. This game is a half a point better than last year's game. closer to a point better, but I'm going to give it a 6.5. I feel like from a Madden perspective, it's a better game, which thank you, Madden. You got the running game right. You made it so we can run again. That's huge. That's going to be huge for our league. That's going to be huge for everything where we don't have to cheese to run, you know. Thanks for that. That being said, the graphics are still not on par with other – I'm grading it as a video game and not a sports game. The graphics are still not on par with other games. The improvements are marginal at best compared to other games. The graphics haven't been improved. The gameplay is still far below what it should be and what it would be if we had competition. A 6.5 out of 10 for me. And that's really good for a grade for Madden for me. So it's the best Madden in a while, but still just – if you don't love football, don't buy Madden. Jug, your thoughts? You give a grade 1 through 10.
I'm gonna throw a 7 in there. I think the game still has much to be desired. I still haven't gotten my full spectrum on the game yet, so this is an early grade. Maybe it'll change for me. You know, who knows what they patch and move forward with from now. I would love to see a situation where there becomes competition again and maybe somebody else gets a license, which we know is never going to happen. But, you know, I looked at just a lot of games and other genres. They have to grow because they have somebody there going to get that money if they don't. So if Madden had that situation, we see a lot more improvements. EA Sports will be on notice.
I agree. So 6.57, Rabbit, your grade?
I'm going to continue the trend, and I'm going to give it a 7.5. Like we've all said, you know, the gameplay seems a little bit more fluid and feels better. Definitely get some props for, at least on the outside, looking like they kind of are fixed regression. At least it's better than last year. Not a flat reduction every year in, year out. But definitely losing some points for no other changes in CFM that I've seen at all. 0 changes, same.
They fixed the main one, which is regression, but other than that, it's not been touched. All right, Scotty, you're the Madden lover. I expect a 9.5 out of you, correct?
No, I'm probably a little harder on games than that. But like I said, I think it's the best it's been in probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I'd say probably 7.5, 8. I'll give it an 8 just to be the one-upper on everyone. But I think they made a lot of
7, 7.5, and 8. Okay.
Can I put something else in there real quick before you hit, Scotty? I want to put something on defense. I think the zones and stuff like that, like people used to be able to sit in that cover 2 or cover 3 and you'd be able to play defense like that all game. You can't do that this year. I like that. I forgot to put that out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's one thing I've always hated, that you could only play zone. Like you could never play man. I mean, realistically, if anybody knew what they were doing, you couldn't play man against them. And actually, I think man's probably the better coverage, but it's zone's still viable, so it allows you to mix it up versus sitting in the cover 3 the whole game. So, I mean, I think overall they've done what you expect from EA Madden. I think they've actually done a good job compared to previous ventures. So,
okay, fair enough. So we'd say an average grade around 7.2 here between everybody. Fair enough. Not an average game, pretty much. Fun to play, especially if you're a football fan. Anybody would recommend it to somebody that's not a football fan as a fun video game? Scotty?
I mean, if you're going to start playing Madden, unfortunately, it'll probably take 2 steps back next year. And so,
now's the time to play.
Yeah, if you're going to play. So,
okay. All right, guys, that's it. So as a league, from very sim perspective, people, we'd say it's about a 7.5, the best, and I agree, it is probably the best Madden in years, and that's not a huge compliment. That's not meant to be a compliment. This is the game we should have got 4 years ago. That's what I'm trying to say. More than this is the best game. We should have got this game a while ago. Especially Rex Dixon and his 3-year plan. This is year 5 of it. But neither here nor there. 7.2, 7.3-ish. All right, guys. Anything you want to say before we go?
Go Giants.
All right, guys.
Squad's games.
Let's go out to games. All right, guys. Peace.